Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Doing Better with Bree. It's your girl Bree, and baby, we have some things to talk about. But before we get into today's topic of discussion, don't forget to like, share, and repost, as I am a new creator on this platform and all of you guys' help is highly appreciated. Subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's topic of discussion, which actually we have two for today. We've got two, so let's get into it. For everybody that's new here, we're going to talk about it and then we're going to figure out what we can learn from it or do better and apply it to our life, okay? So first thing we're going to talk about is co-parenting. And we're going to talk about Kanye and Kim's co-parenting style, which is pretty much sometimes the norm these days. When the parents can't get along or see eye to eye when it comes to how they want to raise their child, we tend to have situations where one parent is making all of the final decisions or the parent isn't making any decisions at all, and it's the child that's deciding what they want to do with their life. And therefore, you get situations like Kim and Kanye's where the father always has something to say, but he can't do nothing about it at the end of the day. And the mother always gets the backlash for her daughter's decisions. We see that Kim is Kim, right? You know how she has gotten down. So it's really crazy for me to see people expect so much of her as a mother. And I'm not saying that Kim isn't Kim, Kardashian and the icon that she is. But what I'm saying is we all know how Kim had her start out here in Hollywood. We all know how Kim was out in these streets. We all know how she used to post her body consistently. Hard for us to really expect a lot from her, or we should expect a lot from her, and seeing how she handles her daughter, when in actuality, Kim has always lived on the edge herself. She has never cared about societal norms. She never cared what anybody had to say. And that is one thing that got her to being a household name, but it also gave her a, really sticky reputation at the same time. And women or people with sticky reputations tend to raise children who also have weird reputations or are known for living on the edge, doing things on the edge, or doing things that society might deem as just not good to do. And we are seeing that currently with what Kim has going on with her daughter, Northwest. Kanye has been saying whatever he's wanted to say this entire time. He has the same rhetoric over and over. He has no control of the situation. People are even telling him not to post or say anything for fear that it could be used against him in court, and he doesn't even care at this point. And as a father, if you are concerned, you have to do what you have to do to get your voice heard when you are in a situation where it has been taken. So on one hand, I do respect him for still wanting to try and have an opinion and a voice in his daughter's life and her appearance and how she's treated and how she's developed, because Northwest genuinely does love her dad. She loves her dad, and no one can really say that she doesn't. She's a huge fan of her dad's work, huge fan of her dad, period. But Kanye and Kim's relationship is so toxic that it does not allow for a proper development for a young girl when she's a teenager. These are the most critical years. Like, they used to be able to get away with the BS when they were younger, but now at these critical years, 12 to about 15, 16, these are the character building years, and her character is being built. The things that she likes they're formulating, and what we are seeing is a version of Northwest where the parents are honestly concerned. The everyday parents are concerned about how this girl is being raised and what she is being exposed to. Let's talk about, people that are around Northwest. Style, swag, living on the edge is just part of society, right? When it comes to fashion, we are going to see things get more diabolical, not calm down. But what we see today is a lot of coochie lips and booty cheeks exposed. Some women have just started to feel liberated by being naked. And that's just what they want to do. I mean, I went through my phase where I was like wearing less clothing, wanted to be more revealing. But in the same time, I didn't like the attention that I was getting, for one. I also did not like how cheap I felt as far as clothing and aesthetic wise. Like high fashion, high things, like it's usually layers and different fabrics and costs a little bit more. So you want to curate a look. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying, right? But Kim has always been a fashionista, someone who has lived on the edge when it comes to fashion herself, so it was only normal that her daughter was going to as well. Kim has always had some type of stylist around her, or people who are always knowing what's trending, what's next, what's weird, what's cool, right? So does her daughter. Anybody who has paid attention has noticed that North West has been seen with some orange-haired Asian woman for a while now, who I do believe was her nail tech at one point, and has been traveling around with them as her nail tech / stylist. This woman has a major influence on how North West styles herself, dresses, and even gets her nails done. Her mother, Kim, has pretty much given this younger Asian woman the complete green light to go ahead and recreate and curate a different look for her daughter going into her teen years. That is pretty much what's going on here. The body, is Kim a fashionable person? In my opinion, she is not one of the people that I would turn to as a fashionista, but she does have a nice body. And Kim was mainly known for her body. And, you know, she could put things on, but she wasn't the person necessarily picking her wardrobe. Kim had like people curating a look for her based off her body type, right? That is what happens when you get to a certain level of money. But Kim herself may not have been just a fashionable person, but she had fashionable people around her who helped curate her closet. The same exact thing is going on here now with her daughter. She has this stylish Asian woman who is curating a look for her daughter and has given her pretty much complete control over how her daughter is styled, dressed, and seen in society. Now, let's be honest, this is a spooky season. People are putting together looks, and people are getting really competitive when it comes to curating and creating these elaborate Halloween looks. If you watched any of the other videos, you will see that North West is in a group of other girls, and they look like some, I would say, Japanese, Asian, anime-themed Powerpuff Girls.
I feel like I could be Batman. I feel like you could be Batman. Anybody could be Batman. You just got to get the gadget.
So it was giving on the edge, badass, grungy, fashionista, Powerpuff Girls. And the look itself is not terribly bad. It's the age range for me. This seems like something that I would see 16 to 17-year-old girls wanting to wear and style versus 12. I feel like she's getting her started too early when it comes to certain looks, because then she'll peak out. Is there such thing as being too ahead when you're young? Like, some looks should be saved for when you have more body for that look. Some looks should be saved for when you have more of a face. And I just feel like some of the looks that she has don't really fit because of her age. The type of girl that she is, I feel like she will always live on the edge when it comes to fashion, because her parents live on the edge when it comes to fashion. So for them, this is just what happens when you put these type of people together and you give them children. Their kids live on the edge of fashion usually as well. So we can expect more interesting looks when it comes to young North West. Gucci Mane and his handler, aka his wife, Big Keyshia. If you didn't know, they went and sat down and did an interview, I believe, with the Breakfast Club, and they've done interviews before. But in this interview, I'm going to insert a small clip here. It pretty much gave that Keyshia is Gucci's handler. Some people feel like Gucci Mane is a clone, and that's not him because he looks so much more different. And they do feel like Keyshia is his handler and runs things and makes sure that things are taken care of a certain way. And we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to...
After each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode. You're sick. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Why do you think that? You're not speaking to me. Well, there's nothing to talk about. I said, well, that's not how you speak to your wife. And I'm like, you're sick. And we snap out of it right then.
Wow.
So I said, Gucci, you just have to accept that you're not well and fix it. Just accept it. I said, people take Tylenol every day. Just take your medication every day. You'll be fine. Just accept that you're sick. Fix it.
Almost made me cry too.
That damn book almost put him in an episode.
My autobiography almost made me cry, and this book almost made me cry.
Not almost made him cry. That book was putting him through an episode, and I called. Actually, this was my idea. I was like, you need to do a movie called Episodes, and let people know what's going on. I said, I can tell you everything you've done through your episodes, because he doesn't remember. And I was telling him how to make the movie, and that's how
That's how we started with the book, because she told me to make a movie.
the lean is in juice bottles.
Yeah, we switch it
because
up.
he's not allowed to drink around me.
I switch it up, so I put it in juices.
What if I was to drink it?
You don't drink juice.
I only drink water. He wouldn't have been the same. He needed someone to help him. And then when we were supposed to get married, someone said to me, you're going to have to deal with this through your marriage, right? And I'm like, I'm cool with it. I'm going to fix him, you know.
Explain. It's hard for me to put it in words. You know what I'm saying?
Him being Gucci Man without me, no one helped him. So that was the problem. No one took the time to like, damn, dog, something is really wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's how I came in after all of that. Like, you need help. Let's fix
And I'm telling...
He's very dangerous. So y'all listen, please leave him alone. Because the Mad Max is still in the head.
Yeah. To deal with those of us with mental health issues, don't tell
It's
their
harder.
stories enough.
Yeah.
I think it's harder being me than him going through an episode. He takes very good care of me. I'm not in need or want for anything, but I have to take care of him first because he has mental health issues. I don't. I'm stronger than he is.
Crazy people need love too. Gucci Man has admitted that he is crazy. He pretty much put in the book that he suffered with mental health issues. We're just going to sum it up to he's slightly crazy. That he would have fits and give away jewelry, give away money, give away very expensive things. And that he would self-sabotage himself and could have self-sabotaged his entire future and or career had Keyshia pretty much not come into his life and created structure and order and discipline. I do like Keyshia. I do like that she has a handle on her man. So yes, she might be a handler, but guess what? Some of y'all need to be the handlers of these men. They is out here acting up, creating babies behind your back, being diabolical, lying, cheating, plotting, and scheming. Some of y'all need a Keyshia in your life. Shit, see nothing wrong with nothing they have going on at all. I know actually a lot of women would prefer to be Keyshia. You telling me that you got your man in control because you know that he has fits and you don't allow certain behaviors, you don't allow him to be around certain things because you know that it will trigger him. That sounds like love to me. That sounds like a person that is patient and understanding and compromising and can see the trigger signs and the warning signs that will irritate her spouse and will do anything and everything to make sure that that does not happen because she likes him when he's happy and not when he's upset. See, when you genuinely love somebody, you want them to be happy as much as possible and you want to curate a beautiful life for them. And I do believe that's what Keyshia is doing. It's crazy how people will call you a clone when you become unrecognizable, when you get somebody in your life that actually values you and levels you up and gives you more focus, gives you a family, gives you love. One thing that we do know about Gucci is that he loved him some Keyshia. She's always on the stage. He's always promoting his wife. He's always showing off his wife. And I am very, very here for it. She's also a single mother that had kids before him and he had kids as well. And people will sit here and say that single mothers ain't good at this or you shouldn't marry them because of X, Y, and Z. But yet Gucci Man actually went out here and married a woman who had kids before him. And she actually gave him structure and discipline in his life. Almost as like a mothering nature because Gucci Man did not have a good relationship with his mother or have a mother that could, you know, get him under control. Y'all do need to get y'all man under control. Maybe we need a course, Keyshia. You out here trying to teach us waist trainers and all this detox. You need to teach us how to get a handle on some of these men. Because some of them do need some handlers. Let's just call it what it is. Some of y'all need some handlers. Shit, I might need a handler. Okay? Where's the man that can handle me? But no, seriously. Like, I might need one because it's not looking good for me. It's not looking good for me when it comes to dealing with these men. Maybe I need someone who can curate a beautiful life and keep certain stressors away from me and won't allow me to do certain things because they know that it will self-sabotage me. To be honest, Gucci Man looks way better than he ever did. I remember Big Gucci, Big Guap. Now he's sitting around here, nice teeth, looking fit, happy, smiling. Like, how can y'all hate on that? But people will find a way to hate on that. Now, when it comes to their business and all their rappers getting deleted or unalived or whatever, that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to have to check in on that on the other side. Don't come in my comments or get up here and say, but they got this going on business-wise. Business-wise, I don't know nothing. And that's the way I want to keep it. I don't know nothing about their business, how they get their money, or how they rappers keep coming up unalived. But what I do know, what I can see, what they have stated is that Gucci is crazy. Keyshia handles him. She, uses words like allow and can and cannot. And I love that for her. How could we hate on a woman who has her man under control? And then women say she was a pick me, she was a battered woman. Okay, I promise you she was not a victim. Keyshia gives that if he threw one, she was throwing two. That's the type of woman she gives. And he was like, oh, you're not to be played with. Some of y'all gonna fall out on the ground and pass out. I'm a victim. Some women might throw hands back with you or do worse. Some women might just leave you because you tried it and that man cannot stand it and they never want to do that again. They don't want to lose it. This whole relationship that they have gives Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast, he was always on the edge. But that beautiful woman that he had kept him under control. Some Beast. And really, they just need a Beauty to get them under control. That's pretty much what this is giving. Yeah. Non-existent or ghetto co-parenting, or a crazy person who still receives love. There is something to be learned in both these situations. So let's see what it is that we can learn or what we might be able to do better to apply to our lives so that we can be more successful in how we move and deal with people on an everyday basis. Let's talk about it. You have to question their values, their morals, question how they were raised. Don't have kids with them. If you know that you're going to bump heads about certain things that they might allow the children to do, don't have kids with them. Just because she is beautiful and fine does not mean that she will be the type of mother or wife that you would want for your children. Just because he has money and motion does not mean that he is the type of man that you want to have kids with. So when it comes down to co-parenting is one of the hardest things that people have to learn to do, because it is something that has no proper rule book. People have tried every which way to implement on how to better co-parent, how to have a better relationship. And I will tell you, just as it was told to me, that baby, there is no perfect co-parenting relationship. It does get very ugly. There will be many arguments. You will spend many days upset at the other person because of the things that they allow to happen within their home that you are not able to speak on or talk about because you have no right to, unless it is putting the child in direct harm. So if your child is not being harmed or anything like that, you cannot speak on what that other person has going on. You can't necessarily question who they choose to date. It's a lot of things that you are not in control of when you have to co-parent. So if you're one of those people who likes control, if you're one of those people that likes to have a say-so in how their child is raised or what they are exposed to on an everyday basis, then you need to do your best to go out here and find you a partner that actually values a mother and a father in the home and wants to actually be there on a consistent basis and does not move purely off of emotion or saying, I don't like you this month, so I want to leave and leave you here with this child. And now you have to make all the decisions for that child. And they want to say what they want to say from the sidelines. Do whatever you can to not put yourself in that situation. That's what you can learn. That's what you can do better. When it comes to crazy people needing love and wanting love, crazy people do need love. And they're probably the ones that need the love the most. A lot of these people that we say are crazy or, use all these, titles like schizophrenic or whatever like that, they've experienced, high levels of trauma. They have experienced unfortunate situations consistently in their life, and yet they are scared and terrified, but they want to receive and give love. They just don't know how. And some people have to be taught how. And some people need to understand what boundaries are because they never had boundaries. Some people out here were raised with no boundaries, never being told no, never being told what they cannot have. And then they get money on top of that. Gucci was one of those men who did whatever he wanted to in his mother's house. He did whatever he wanted to in these streets. He did whatever he wanted to when it came to his music career. Could nobody tell him nothing. Came to how he tattooed himself. The woman he dealt with at one point, he was able to do whatever he wanted to with no boundaries and no structure. And he saw where that was leading him. He was getting big. He was getting out of shape. He was going in and out of jail. He was having all these financial issues and owing all these people and having to deal with baby mamas and that whole situation. And then he gets with someone who creates structure, who tells him there are boundaries. You will not do these things. You have to listen. You have to put yourself first. Your physical, mental health is important. And this is how we're going to work on your physical and mental health. She came in with a game plan. And the game plan that she came in with actually did justice for him. He benefited by having a handler. And so some people, what I'm going to say is what we can learn is that some of y'all need a handler. Someone needs to lay hands on you to get a hold of you. You know how they say Jesus need to get a hold of you? Because Jesus be handling some people. Some people need to be dealt with. Some people need to be handled. Some people need to know that there are boundaries. Some people need someone to redirect them like a life coach. And don't count that type of relationship out is what I'm saying. Out of all the relationships there are to have in this world, because no two relationships are the same between people. Some of these relationships, they are very diabolical. The things that that person has to put up with is very diabolical. And on top of that, they putting up with stuff and don't be having money. Some of them be putting up with stuff and they not happy. They spouse don't even, talk good about them. They putting up with stuff and they funny looking. They putting up with stuff and they kids don't like them. They putting up with stuff and people literally just don't like them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just be putting up with a lot of stuff from their spouses because their spouses have mental health issues. Their spouses don't know how to be good people. Their spouses never wanted them. Their spouses never liked them. So out of all the terrible relationships there is to have, I don't see where we really can talk about Gucci's and Keyshia's. He has admitted to his mental health issues. He has admitted to how she handles things and how he gives her control over that. It's not a cry for help. It didn't give a cry for help. What it did give was, this is how I'm handling my life. This is how I'm handling my trauma. This is how I'm handling my situation. I'm taking control of my life, and this woman is helping me. What we can see and what we can learn from that situation is sometimes in order to receive love, in order to give love, you have to be patient. You might have to help your spouse organize and take control of their life. You might have to help your future husband pull his shit together. You might have to be someone that gets a handle on that man. You might have to be. Whether you are in a relationship that people just don't understand, or you are having to co-parent with someone that you don't want to, everything requires a level of patience, understanding, forgiving. And if you're a person that cannot have patience, understand, forgive, compromise, then you will not be successful with dealing with anybody. You will need to be by yourself. Isolation might actually work for you. I understand why some people like to go isolate, because they just don't know how to compromise or understand or deal with people. They are literally better off by themselves. And if you are that type of person, you need to understand that about yourself early so that you do not go out here and cause yourself trauma or anyone else. That's the way I see it. You can't compromise, then you need to go. But we have such a culture that feels like everybody is expendable. You don't need them. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to be understanding. You don't have to be forgiving. Everything is about you and your needs and what you want, as if you are the most important person in the world. People go through things. They deal with things. And if you are a genuine, caring person, you want to give and receive love, you will have to learn to compromise, understand, be forgiving. That is just what it is. But hey, you guys are going to do what you want to do anyway. But that is all the time that we have for today. And like I always say, do 1% better a day, get your bag, and stay out the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on those notifications, like, share, and repost. Comment down below and follow me on all my social media platforms. They are in the bio. Till later, you guys. Peace.